What's up, everybody? Happy Easter. It's time for another video. This one's going to be a question and answer video. This is for my personal support worker videos. I'm not going to mention any usernames or emails. So here we go. Question one reads, let me see here. Question one reads, how do you obtain your knowledge as a personal support worker, and how and when do you apply it properly? Well, that's simple. I actually obtain my knowledge not just from learning in school, but a personal support worker. You learn on the job. So every situation is different. So you're always going to come into a different situation working as a personal support worker, whether it be in home care, long-term, or in hospital. And, the ways you learn is from the experienced personal support workers, the nursing staff, and also from your clients or patients in general. And what you do is you learn about their conditions, you learn about them personally, and you get to know them, and then you apply that knowledge when you encounter someone similar or has a similar condition to them. And then that way you can improve your own knowledge, you understand the condition, and you'll be able to work with someone a lot better. Also, general skills like transfers and toileting and, pericare and, just bathing, grooming, and dressing. And, those are all standard things you already learn. And, you do what you got to do. There's a whole list that goes on, but basically you just apply your knowledge and keep on learning. It's a learning experience. Every day is a learning experience for everything that you do. So don't forget that. Question two is, let me see here. This person asks, how do you feel about being a male in a female typed environment? Ooh, this is a good one. So that all depends out there. So if there's any male personal support workers out there, this is still I'd say about 70% female job, and there's about 30% males in these types of jobs. That includes nursing and other things as well related to this field. You know what? Sometimes, you're going to get some elderly people. And I find this with people closer in my age range, and even maybe, like my parents' age range. I don't know if it's going to become kind of a problem in the future, but it just all depends on the individual. In my experience, a lot of elderly people, especially a lot of traditioned ones, if I'm working with a male client, for example, he wants a male personal support worker most of the time because, and how I've had it put to me in the past is, okay, so you have a guy you're dealing with who's in his late 80s. So he's been with his wife, all his life, married, and he's never let another woman see him naked or do the kind of things like his wife would allow. So in his mind, he wants a male that he can bond with and that he can talk to, and, that he wouldn't feel embarrassed around. And it's all about embarrassment and pride. They don't want to get embarrassed, and they want to hold their pride really high. So, you have to respect people for that. Same thing with females. Females only want female personal support workers because they don't want guys seeing them. It's the same thing. And also, I don't think a lot of the husbands out there would appreciate a male touching their wife. But there are the exceptions, and I have seen some, and I've worked really well with female clients before, and their husbands have loved me. They love all of us. And also, you're also going to get some female or male clients who want the opposite sex because they don't feel comfortable with the same sex PSWs. And, it's just, that's how it is. I've had males who, don't want me because they want females because, either they don't feel comfortable with a male, which is very rare, or they might be perverted, for example. You have to always watch out for that. But the one thing I always watch out for in my job, if a male client doesn't want me because I'm a male personal support worker and they start asking for particular support workers in general, that kind of signals a red flag that, they might be much more interested in themselves than in them taking care of themselves. And that's something of a concern I would like to bring up to the attention of anybody out there. And always watch your backs, especially all the girls watching this video, female PSWs watching this video. Please be on your best guard and protect yourselves. You know what, it happens, but that's just the way it is. And then with the younger generation, I can kind of understand that, but you just got to take it how it is, and that's just how it is sometimes. There's going to be plenty of people out there to take care of, and you'll always have your pick of the litter. The next question, let's see here. How do this person how do you deal with people on an everyday basis, such as family members, and how do you basically, well, this guy is asking me, how do I basically please them, or how do I deal with them in general? That's a tough one. When you're working with your client, you got to not only work with them, but you got to work with the families as well. It depends what the type of environment is. So you're going to be working with clients in their homes most of the time. And if they're living alone or with a spouse, you got to deal with the spouse. You also, if they're living alone or living with their kids, you got to deal with the children as well. And a lot of the times, the other family members will be very grateful that you're coming in, for example, to help them out. It's just the way it is. And, you got to get along with everybody. You're going to get some picky people who want certain things done for their parents. The kids want certain things done, or the wife or husband wants certain things done for their loved one. That's understandable. But in the end, if the client is in the right state of mind and they want something done for themselves their way, always try to help them out by doing it their way. But if their way seems unreasonable, try to adapt your situation to it and do the best that you can to cope with them. And you're not always going to get along with all the family members. You're going to have some family members who want to do things their way just because they feel that their way is much more viable, or you want to have, or you have family members who actually are probably nurses, doctors, or in the medical field who think that they know better because it's their loved one. And that will take me into my next question in a second, my next and final question in a second. So anyways, deal with it as best you can. You can only make so many people happy. But again, if you get along with your client, that's great. And if you're working in a long-term care or hospital type setting, you work as a team with everyone and you do the best you can. And families are going to come in and out. And you got to do the best that you can to cope with the family members coming in. Like I said, again, they're going to be cool with you taking care of their loved one. And at the end of the day, all they want to see is the best care for their loved one. And, if you're doing your job the best and to your fullest, you're doing your job. But again, some clients' families can be picky. So, you just got to take it for what it is. And when the time comes, just say what you got to say to them. Be nice to them. And if something's wrong, like you need to talk to them. You know what I mean? Or get your supervisor or the person in charge to talk to them. But that's all I got to say about that one, which leads me into my last question. How do you deal with, this person asked, Justin, how do you deal with clients' families who either have spouses or children who are a doctor, nurse, or in another part of the medical field? How do you deal with them? That's a tough one because I have encountered a lot of clients over the years who have family members as doctors, nurses, and other parts of the medical field, and they feel that because that they're part of the medical field and you're coming in and you're part of the medical field, that they know more than you. Yes, I do understand that doctors and nurses have many more years experience than me, especially schooling and knowledge, but in the end, I am doing the best that I can to care for your loved one. And, when I see something wrong and I'm reporting it to my supervisor, and then let's say you have a client of mine, his daughter's a nurse, and she says, no, that's not right. I see things completely differently. Or no, I don't want to, give that medication to my dad because I feel this and this and this. Look, in all honesty, if my boss or your family doctor or the nurse who's coming in to see your loved one is telling you something different or is suggesting something different, they're seeing things from a professional point of view and they're trying to help your loved one. And, sometimes if something's not working, you got to give it a shot. Like I deal with clients with dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, if they're being too rambunctious and they need something to help calm down, if the doctor has suggested that because the nurse has come in and taken a look because I have said something, and to come take a look and see their behaviors, then they need to try something, because, I'm the one who's going in and I'm putting my, neck on the line to take care of your loved one. So I'm just giving an example here that I can get knocked out if they're being aggressive. So, that's just the way it is. And yes, you have family members around, or the spouse is taking care of a person in the situation. But, like, you got the PSWs coming in to take care of your loved one. And you got to understand that that's me and me putting my neck on the line. And if I don't feel comfortable, then I'm not coming back. All right. Which leads me into my last question. This one is a good one, and this is also related to this topic. How do you deal with members of the medical community who think that they're below your feet as a personal support worker? This is a really good one, and there's a lot of nurses out there that are like this. They feel that they're up here because they've had so many years experience in school, and they have so much knowledge that they feel that they're above a personal support worker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but any nurse that thinks that I am dirt, or any other personal support worker that is dirt or beneath their feet, who can do the dirty work for them, especially in a hospital or a long-term care type setting, I am sorry. That is not cool, and I will confront anyone at any time who denounces us as being like servants, or like basically shit wipers, because I don't like that. I don't say to nurses that you're such and such and such. I respect nurses, I respect doctors, I respect everyone. You know what I mean? And that's for people above me, and I also respect people who are, below me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying educational wise. So you have to remember that, well, any nurses who are watching this out there, you have to remember that when personal support workers didn't exist, that you guys used to do our job, plus your job you still do right now. You used to do the personal care, and you used to do a lot of different other things. And hell, like, that's before PSWs or healthcare aides even existed. But, nurses seem to forget that, and a lot of them just want to push meds. They want to sit and do paperwork, and they don't want to do the bedside care. And, they feel that personal support workers are beneath them, and they'll do their job for less money because they make more money, and they feel like they're like up here. I'm sorry to say that that's not true. And if anybody puts me in that kind of position, I will tear two, not just one, but two strips off your back, and I will confront you about that one. And that's me personally. But you want to know something? To all my nursing friends out there who have great respect for PSWs, I love you guys and girls. You're all the best. Doctors, hey, family members, everyone, you know how it is. And not just people in the medical field. If anyone in general considers me like this, I will confront you, and I will tell you how it is, because that's how I am, and I'm not going to be stepped on by anybody, because that's how I feel. I do have a knowledge level, and it might not be as vast as a nurse or a doctor, but I've been around the block in the medical field a long time, and I've seen a lot of things in my 8 years. So if I say something, or suggest something rather, that's just from personal experience. I cannot make a medical decision because I am a personal support worker. I can only suggest things and let a nurse or a doctor make the final call. That's how we all play it by ear. But if I'm suggesting to you personally to go to your family doctor, or, go see a nurse or go see someone, that's just my suggestion from my observation. I'm not making an actual medical diagnosis. I am just saying, you need to go get your loved one help with this and this and this. Or I see something, this and this and this. Makes sense. Anyways, people, you take care. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Hope this video helps. Happy Easter. Bye for now.